Hello, everybody, and welcome to a really special edition of a show which has got the amazing tarot by Izabela. Um, I'm Gary from Alternative Interactions, and my special guest is you are.
Ciao, by Isabella. Isabella. Thank you so much, Gary, for letting me be on your show. I was really, really looking forward to it.
It's an honor. I honestly thank you very much, Isabella, and I just want to say thank you very much to you for all the support that you've given me, Richard, Jenny, and everybody else, and the amazing readings you do,
Oh,
and
thank you.
and and how wonderful your community is that follows you, and how it's amazing the energy that comes from that. So thank you everybody, and
Yeah,
thank you Isabella for being there and the
yeah,
spearhead of that.
yeah, but we are all brothers and sisters, and you and Jenny and Richard. Well, we support each other, and we all bring a part to this community and to make it complete.
Yes,
We all are different personalities and maybe have different views on things, but still, that's how the world looks like. We don't only have one kind of tree in the forest, we have many different kind of trees. And it's the variety of things that make a forest, not just one tree. It's everything. And mm, when we all come together, then we will become a living, beautiful forest or a meadow, we call it meadow, with all kinds of flowers. Or if you go under the ocean, there we have different kinds of fish and corals in all kinds of colors. And that is what it is. That's what we are. mm. We are all one kind of fish or one kind of coral, but together we make a beautiful forest or ocean view or whatever you
yes,
look at.
yeah, we do. Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Thank you very much. Now, I'm going to be asking Isabella some questions,
Mhm.
and Isabella's going to be crystal ball cards, whichever Isabella
Combination of
feels.
both.
Yeah, yeah, whichever Isabella's drawn to do, obviously. Now, I'm going to be putting some of this program is going to be connected to the previous show that we did with the spiritual surface, as
Mm,
well as what Isabella just recently released, which is her Ancient Ones again, part one. And I'm going to try and bring a few of these concepts together so we can get a little bit more clarity on questions that I've got about it. Because I've obviously got questions about it as much as anyone. But I want to start, Isabella, on a question that I know you get asked a lot and I get asked a lot. And it's something that I think, you know, it just helps us calm our minds down and get us into the right mood of what's going on. So
mm,
to start, I just want to clarify how you feel about this new cards, or I know you've done this cards before on this, but currently we have our governments around the world, Canada, Holland, UK, Ireland, wherever it is, Sweden, Switzerland, Australia, around the realm, we have governments that are kind of out of control and acting in a very interesting way. Now, I personally see it as a very good thing because they're showing themselves for what they really are, and it's part of the waking up process. But
mm,
we obviously have, we can get sucked into this energy very easily, and it makes us unsure of where we're going forward. So I believe that the controllers, or the dumb elites, as I like to call them, or the deletes, um,
mm.
their power has finished, and we're about to see a massive change, and we're not going to see governments the way they are or have been during our entire lifetime. How do you see this, please, Isabella?
Okay. I'm just gonna take a look here, and it will be a combination of visions and cards. Okay, and we're gonna look at governments around the world. Are they finished, or are they just gaining more power to crush us all into dust? What
Yes.
is going on? Because a lot of people are afraid of that. And especially in the comment section on different videos, you can see that, oh, here in Poland, it's catastrophe. Spain, oh, please, we are dying here. Oh, every country has the same problem with a lot of worried citizens. Mm.
Yeah.
So just give me a few seconds and we'll see if we can catch something here. Okay. Sorry if I'm laughing. What I saw here, it was quite funny. I saw the whole planet and I saw symbolically every country and the governments in every country. They are like standing on one leg and they are, on that leg, they are standing on a chair that stands on a small piece of wood, that stands on a rock, that stands on something else. And they are like swaying back and forward, back and forward. And they're trying to, no, I'm on the top, I'm going to decide this, I'm going to decide that. But at any given moment, if you stand on one leg, on the chair that stands on a rock, that stands on a piece of something else, it's gonna fall down. And we are at the moment when all the governments, the politicians, the top leaders are standing on that chair, swaying back and forward, and they know at any given moment they're gonna fall down. And it seems like when the earth just shakes a little bit, then all the chairs will fall down. That's what I saw symbolically in the crystal ball on your question. Now,
Superb.
let's take some cards. It was funny see them, they're like clowns on the chair.
It's like a circus act, is what we're actually
Yeah, yeah,
seeing. And it's like the jugglers and the acrobats are actually the
yeah.
politicians.
But they are
And
not trained in acrobats because a trained acrobat couldn't,
yeah.
even have one plate swirling in one hand, but they are just amateurs.
Yes. Yes. I see it very much as smoke and mirrors at the moment. It's an illusion that they're
Yeah.
giving us.
Well, let me take another one. Let's see what we can find here on your question. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, you said it's an illusion. First, we have the magician, we have Queen of Coins, and we have the star. Above the magician, we have courthouse. Above the Queen of Coins, we have enemy. And above the star, we have two dice. Then we have a dog. We have someone knocking down a bottle or a vase. Then we have stage. It's all a stage. And a tiger. Yeah. So at the moment, it's all illusion. Their power, it's an illusion. They are trying, to juggle because he juggles the four elements. They're trying, but they will be brought into justice, the courthouse. Be the good guys, the dogs, because a dog is a man's best friend. So the best friends of humanity gonna bring them into justice. Those who try to hypnotize us, those who try to bring that illusion or put a spell on, because a lot of them put spells on the people through the media, through this or through other means. They are like putting the spell on the public, but that spell will be broken. Here we have Queen of Coins. That could also represent the good forces, Gaia, Mother Earth, and they are enemies to her. And what will she do with her enemies? She will knock them down, like somebody's knocking down a vase from the table. And there we have those on the chairs. They will fall down. And then we have the star. Wish upon a star. So we must keep our minds clear and continue to wish things we want to appear in our life. Wish, think about, because wishing and thinking about is the same thing. Whatever you think about is whatever you wish for. And wish upon a star. In Swedish, we say it. That if you wish upon a star, you're gonna get your wish fulfilled. Yeah, something like that. And we should not be afraid to wish on something good. We should not be afraid to wish that they fall down.
Yeah.
Oh, but what will come afterwards? Oh, when every country must have a government. No, not this kind of government. Maybe a government of the people, by the people, but not by some parasites. And it's all like a play on a stage. They
Yeah, the
come
smoke
from,
and mirrors. The smoke and
yeah.
mirrors. Yeah.
But the real tigers will come up and show that is a play, or they will devour those that are trying to cast spells on the people, try to hypnotize them into being obedient little slaves.
Superb.
So
Thank you.
that was my answer to your question.
No, superb. And please, I'm seeing this a lot. Other readers are saying the same thing. Isabella's been very consistent in her message for a very long time now on this. So please have some faith in yourself and
Mm,
I call it reality tunnels. We manifest what we want in life. And so if you're focusing on something that's negative, you're likely to bring that in. And if you just realize and you take away and go, they've got no power.
mm,
They've got nothing. They're fools. They're fools.
mm,
And I want to see them fall like a fool. And
mm,
then I want to see the world I want. You will create that because that's you throwing your dice.
mm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Thank you very much for
Exactly.
that. So, so knowing that we're in a very good position. It may not seem it because of all the noise around us, noises,
Mhm,
media, and everything else. We're in, it's the smoke and mirrors we've just been talking about. We're in a very, very good position. Now, going to things that we've been talking about previously, um, I've got a few questions. I mean, we talk about Free Eye Atlas or multi-dimensional craft or whatever. So I want to ask the question, and I think it's fairly set in my mind, but I just want to clarify this. Do we have multiple frequency beings or races that have come together to protect us now? You got the star card, which for me is off-world,
yeah,
you know,
energy also. Yeah.
but can you just clarify that for me in the audience, what we feel about what you feel about that? We've got different races, different frequencies, and this comes from your ancient ones when you said different races came together to create.
Something. Mm. Okay. If we have different non-human races, benevolent non-human races, we have
Yes.
to clarify that because there are a lot of not benevolent races
Yes.
that are on the side of humanity and are doing some kind of work or actions to help us.
Yes.
Mhm. Oh, I thought I had my glasses on. Let's see. Mm. Okay. Um, what I saw here, I could write a book about it. There is so much I saw here that is mind-blowing. If we talk about benevolent non-human beings on the side of humanity, I saw microscopic beings like this, benevolent, seeds of light. And I saw them living on the planet. And I saw them, could be like great, tiny, 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 tiny fairies, like this, that are bound to this planet. Uh, but I also saw them as also saw beings that are pure light, that exist everywhere at the same time in universe. It's like protons, neutrons, they are like everywhere. I saw beings in blue color with no hair. I saw beings that are so huge, they are bigger than planets themselves. And they are in from the microscopic to the biggest you can ever imagine. So, and they are, some of them are just pure energy, some of them are a frequency, some of them are interdimensional, so they can exist on many dimensions at the same time. Some of them are more in a flesh. Some of them are highly advanced technical races. It could be like us, but they are more advanced. So yes, there are a lot of beings, and there are so many different forms of them that each one of them one could write a whole book just to describe them, and it's really mind-blowing.
Superb.
Let's take some cards of that.
Yes, please.
So it looks through the crystal ball that we have more benevolent beings on our side than those who want to destroy it.
Yes.
And as I said, there are life forms in so many ways, different forms and sizes and appearance. That is incredible. I'm gonna take just some cards here on that. If there are benevolent races, beings, life forms. Yeah.
With our backs, they're holding our backs. They're supporting us more than we realize. They really are, I feel.
That was the boy. Let's see what we find in the cards. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We cannot get any. Yeah. Oh. Okay. First one, we have 10 of Cups, family. We have cat and dog that's sleeping together. So they are different, but we are still family. We can still work together. We can still help each other. Yes. Big, big yes. Mm. Then we have the judgment. Yeah. And in these cards, I see them like they will be activated
Yeah.
because they have been beside us all the time, but maybe not so active. They had stepped in when there was a big need for it to save certain, could be a certain country or a certain race, but in the big picture, they have been quite inactive. But soon the trumpet's gonna blow and they're gonna be activated, real activated. And this also confirms the Ermite because they have been there. The Ermite is a source of knowledge. You seek out the Ermite when you want to get illuminated, when you want to get to know some deeper truths, some deeper knowledge. And he possesses it. And they possess that deep, old, ancient knowledge. And they will share that with us if we ask for it or if we seek it out. But symbolically, the Ermite have always lived in a cave on the top of the mountain. And those who really, really are pure and really, really want to know, they make that effort to climb the mountain and try to be polite and try to ask the Ermite to tell them something about what he knows. So yeah, they will share it, but not with everyone.
No.
Only for those who make the effort and those who are pure at heart that want to know.
Superb.
What's more, then we have courtship. And courtship, well, they have been engaged, and some of them have even um, mixed themselves with humans, meaning they could even be hybrids living on this planet. So they may have looked like human, but they were not human, but there were a possibility genetically to have children.
Yes.
So some kind of, yeah, is there. And then we have journey. So they are from everywhere. They travel a lot. And the last card is in inheritance, meaning they have existed generations and generations back. And we have that coded in our DNA, in our subconscious, that those beings have been here for so long. They are a part of our culture, they are part of our history. When we hear about it, it's something triggers inside of us. Yeah, it must be. Maybe there were beings from other dimensions or planets here before because we have it in here. That's why we get so triggered by Star Wars movies or Star Trek movies or this kind of sci-fi, because on a deep level it resonates with truth. Mhm. And on this dice there is there and a football. So I can say it. And the football is also something round. So yeah, they have been everywhere, on all places. Yeah, not only in Sweden or in England, they have been everywhere,
Yeah.
all around the place. So yeah, that was my answer.
No, that's brilliant. So we are clearly from Isabella's amazing ball and card reading, we're being protected by good
Yeah,
beings that
yeah.
have got our best interests at heart. Because fundamentally, as Isabella said, we're all connected. Everything is one. Okay,
Mm.
we are as connected to each other as we are to dogs, cats, trees, a blade of grass. Everything is connected into one. And if we as a, I feel this very strongly, if we as a race, as a being, as a planet, as a realm, were taken over anymore and destroyed, it would then affect and ripple out onto them and everyone
mm,
else. And
yeah,
they can't have that. They can't have that. It's very important that the family comes back together.
yes, to support each other.
Yeah, yeah,
We leave our grudges behind, and just like dog and cat, they can be quite nasty to each other, but they can also sleep together in front of the fireplace like brothers and sisters. Mm,
yeah, yeah, totally, totally. Now,
mm,
that's really good to hear. Now, we assume and we have been told that we are so advanced today. You know, from my research, we really aren't. You know, we were far more advanced in the past than we are today. In fact, we have been dumbed down intentionally by the dumb elites to keep us under control, to keep us under the foot,
mm,
downtrodden, in fact. Now, we have so many multi-dimensional beings. I don't want to call them aliens because that's the wrong thing. Off-worlders
mm,
here supporting us, right? They must have an edge upon the old technologies that the dumb elites still have. Because just because we don't have that technology does not mean that
mm,
does not exist here still. So, my question would be, are the benevolent forces, our off-world friends, some
mm,
of them are in-world as well, obviously, have they got technology that blows the dumb elites technology into the wind? So what I'm asking is it a bit like a pea shooters? The dumb elites have
mm.
got pea shooters, and
Uh,
and our off-world friends have literally got the Star Trek Enterprise that fires lasers and everything. Is this the kind of difference in technology that we're seeing? So we understand that really the dumb elites have got nothing left. You know, they're, you know, can you remember the old pea shooters used to go. So Isabella, is there a really nice way that you could ask that question
yeah.
for us, please?
Okay. Let's compare those beings' technology and the dumb elite's technology.
Yes,
What's the difference?
yes, please.
Okay. I could not get any clearer answer on that. The difference, they show me, an old carriage, like from the medieval times, that oxes was, pulling, and people were sitting there, and it was very bumpy, and the thick wheels of wood, and that advanced technology of that carriage is what the dumb elites have. They show me what they have. They show me black holes. They show me we can travel through black holes and back and visit through certain black hole. You visit that part of the universe, and then we come back. And they show me, chambers with lights and crystals, and how they activate seeds to germinate and grow from a seed to a big tree in a couple of hours, uh, and things like that. Um, so, just to travel through a black hole and back, comparing that to a carriage with wooden wheels. Yeah, it's a little bit like that, what
Wow.
they showed me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take 3 cards on that, just 3 cards. The difference between technology of the dumb elites and those advanced ones. Mm. The dumb elites, they are like stressing and they have like sticks. It's sticks, wooden sticks. But their technology is like the emperor sits on the top of everything. So their technology is on the top of everything. The dumb elites were still fighting with sticks. And they control armies because the emperor control armies.
Superb.
Mm.
I think that's a very clear representation. The fact that the dumb elites are the ox and cart,
Mm.
while our friends are multi-dimensional, traveling around in vehicles that we can't even comprehend.
Yeah.
So it's night and day in the technology stakes, which
Mm.
means the dumb elites are totally impotent and powerless. They
Yeah.
have no more power because they have nothing that they can wield that can affect anything that we are supported by. Because we've already checked that out, haven't we? We know
Yeah.
we're being supported, we know we're being looked after, and now we're seeing very clearly from Isabel's brilliant reading and seeing that they are so more advanced. It's night and day. It's not even a contest.
Mm.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we're in a really good position. Really
Yeah.
good position. That's brilliant. And obviously, if we take this further, the logical outcome of this night and day technology means that we really do not have anything to worry about. We really don't, you know. Now, this is really, really interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that really is one of the bugbears for many at the moment is the time scale. We all, I know from my experience with the pendulum that I can ask the pendulum something and I'll say, is it likely to happen immediately? And go, yes. And immediately is a year later. Yeah. And I understand in tarot cards, it's exactly the same because fundamentally the energy is coming from the same source, isn't it? It's the same kind of frequency
Mm.
energy. So obviously we can't ask about timelines on this because it would be pointless. We can give you how we feel or whatever, but can we just ask the cards, are we now really taking that step forward where the time between what we're going to see and the fall of the dumb elites is kind of here now? Is this what we're now living through? Is this what we're starting to see? I know we can't really ask the time on that, but
No, I try
it's
to
tricky, isn't it?
see. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's tricky. But if we are in that time when the changes are about,
perfectly.
the big changes, the mind-blowing changes are coming. Mm.
Yes, yeah, perfectly put. Perfectly put.
I get blank and then I want to show me anything. It's blank. It's a white page. I'm gonna take some cards. A white page doesn't, because I know people may freak out. Oh, this means it's not gonna happen. No, 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 no. A blank page is, it's not up to you to know when.
Yes,
Mm.
yeah, and that
Let's
is
take,
sorry, Isabel, and that's
yeah.
kind of what I was expecting. And I know it's strange, but the expectation of them not telling us is actually a very good thing because
Mm.
why would you give the enemy any information that could assist them in doing anything, even though
Yeah,
it's night and day technology. There's no reason really to give anybody any extra information that doesn't need it. So sorry, Isabel,
yeah,
carry on.
because the enemy is so evil They know they are going down, but they don't want to go down alone. And if we can take as many as possible with us, then yay. And as many as possible, both means you and me and a lot of innocent people. And they say they're doing it by love, through love. It's because they love us that they don't want to give us any time. They know we are worried. We have an Eight of Swords. They know we are anxious. They feel all that. It's obvious because we are human beings. We want to know when. But we must rest assured that everything's gonna be fine. We have the sonatas. Everything's gonna sort out,
That's beautiful.
and we stop worrying so much about time, because when we stop worrying of time, then things happen suddenly from nowhere.
What one of the not rules, because there are no real rules, but one of
Mm,
the observations of manifestation is if you're desperate for something and you try and manifest it in and then keep thinking about it and keep pushing and pushing and pushing, what you're actually doing is you're not bringing it towards you, you're pushing it away.
yeah, yeah,
And I think
exactly.
that, and I think the fact that they won't give us any answers on that one is a real positive, you know,
Mm,
because it could be many things, but I only see it as a positive because if I was in the middle of doing something, I wouldn't say, oh, it's happening now, or we're about
mm,
to do it. So that's positive, and it really is,
yeah.
so brilliant stuff. Now, we've obviously spoken about um, off world stroke in world people's helping us. Free Eye Atlas or multi-dimensional craft, UFOs, if we want to call it that.
Mm,
We're starting to see an awful lot more of these at the moment. And Free Eye now, whether Free Eye Atlas is a craft, a being, or whatever it is, it
mm,
really doesn't matter. It's what it signifies. It's what the meaning of that is coming in. Now,
mm.
when you were speaking to your ancient ones, you said that we'd see some signs.
Yes.
So, and the signs would be when things were happening, we would see signs. So I'm going to ask this in the crafty way because they won't answer quite
Yeah.
rightly so.
Yeah.
So, Isabella, is the Three Eye Atlas the increase in UFO sightings? Um, and actually, shall we expand? No, we'll keep it to that just for now because I think we've got a second question after that. So, is the Three Eye Atlas, the UFO sightings, one of the signs that you spoke about in your Ancient Ones video of
Mm.
things happening?
Okay. These three atlas, one of the signs. Mm. They showed me here in the crystal ball a long list of signs. And those signs are in sections. The three most important signs, the five most, and so on and so on. And Three Eye Atlas belongs to the top three or five signs that we are near. Mm. It's not the main sign, it's one of them only.
Yes,
Oh, that fell out. And that could be disappointing to many because they think that Three Eye Atlas is the answer to everything. No, it's just one sign on a list of hundreds.
yes, yeah,
Mm.
and that's exactly what I feel Three Eye Atlas is. It's more of a the meaning is more important than what it actually is or going to do
Yeah,
or not going to do. It's the
yeah,
meaning, it's a sign, you know, a bit like following a star at night time. It's a
yeah.
sign. Doesn't mean the star is your destination. It's a
Mm,
guidance to the fact that
yeah.
you're headed in the right direction.
Mm. Let's take three cards on that also. About three eye atlas. Is it a sign or is it something more? We have the Fool, the Page of Coins, and Six of Wands. So yeah, it's a sign. It makes people to look up, and it comes unexpected, like a fool. You cannot expect. Um, you can expect the fool do unexpected things. So yeah, it's like something happened unexpectedly because we didn't know about Three Eye Atlas like 6 months ago. Suddenly it was there, and everyone was talking about it. So it come unexpectedly, but yes, it belongs to one of the big signs, important signs. But there will come much more signs to complete it.
Superb.
Yeah,
And from your last statement, there will be more signs to complete it.
yeah,
We spoke about in our spiritual surface show about enlightenment and DNA, potentially people around the realm, could be thousands, having contact with craft asleep or awake, whichever way it
mhm,
is, and then and their enlightenment and their knowledge being given to them and passed to them. Okay. Now, in your Ancient Ones video that you did 2.5 years ago, you
mhm,
spoke about a light flash or flashes of light.
mhm.
Now, to me, in my mind, how I work, a flash of light can be an aha moment, a light bulb going on in the mind.
Yeah,
So, when you because this Ancient Ones video is very important. The first one, there's so much information, and we don't want to go too far along the journey of the road of
mhm,
that because it is all in cap. So we're just taking it step by step so we don't, get too in front of ourselves. Hence the
mhm.
question about Three Eye Atlas. So, is the flash of light that's likely to come and is coming? Because we're seeing this. People are starting to really wake up, and
Yeah,
spiritually wise, I mean, I am not the same person I was 3 years ago. I am not the
yeah.
same person I was a year ago.
The same here. Mm,
We sometimes forget because we get embroiled in life and everything else to take a step back and really look at how far we've come. Surely that must be a flash of light.
yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
So,
Because when you do a symbol of an enlightened person, then you have the bulb above someone's head. Oh, a light went up for me, and I understood.
and the light flash is also clarity. We're
Mm,
shining light on to something so it
mm,
illuminates and shows us what this is or could be.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So we have seen recently the Aurora Borealis. You know, last year it came down lower, and in Norfolk in the UK, I went out one evening and we had the Aurora Borealis. I've never seen it before in my lifetime, and there it
mm,
is. I'm standing outside my house on the road. It's there. On the Ancient Ones again, you mentioned lights. Again, I'm doing a very broad spectrum here because it's like a scattergun approach, really. But also, I think sounds have been reported from the Aurora
yes.
Borealis recently.
In
Yeah.
Sweden, in Sweden, yeah.
So,
Strange sounds. Mm,
yeah. So perhaps my last question of the show, because I think, I think we're getting to the end of really um, where I want to go today, if that's okay with you. We speak about DNA, we speak about enlightenment, we speak about light flashes on the ancient ones and the Aurora Borealis and the sounds. You just did the reading about the levels. Is this one of those levels? Is this are these brilliant positive signs for us to show us that we really are on the right road?
And the Aurora Borealis and the lights and yeah.
Yeah,
Mm. Okay. What I saw here in the crystal ball, it's one aspect of it, definitely. And the light in itself is also symbolic, like, enlightenment within your heart, in your mind, clarity. But this showed me here a real flash of light, like something exploding. And that light will have some certain frequency to speed things up. Because if we're going to wait for one person to get enlightened, two, 10, my God, we're going to wait a couple of thousand years
yeah.
more. And I don't think we can survive that, or the planet can survive that. So what I saw here, I saw a very big, bright flash of light. And that is just to speed things up a little bit.
That's very,
Mm.
very interesting that you said that, Isabella, because something came straight into my mind when you said that. Because we're going to be doing a show in the near future with Maten from the Platonic
Yeah,
Planes.
yeah.
And Maten has a couple of dates that Isabella is going to look into. And I wonder if, I'm getting flesh of the goose, I wonder if that would be the symbolic flash of light on one of those dates.
Yeah, that could be very interesting to look into.
So that's
Mm.
one for the future,
And
everyone.
we really have to hurry up with that show
Yes, we
because
do.
those dates are quite near.
They are. They're coming very
Mhm.
close.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm going to take 3 cards on that flash of light. Mm. Oh my God. Oh, yeah, it's on its way. We have 6 of swords, long journey. We have 4 of coins. They are like, before something happens, it's like it's pressing, it's getting bigger, like you're filling a balloon, gathering more and more and more until the explosion. They have the chariot until it goes everywhere. Um, then we have a child above it, and we have someone crying on the dice. Um, what they have, why they have to do it quickly, or come with that big flash of light to hurry up, is because they are after the little ones. Really want to. We can go into quite deep, horrible things here, but they are attacking them. They don't want the next generation. or they want to consume all the life force from the little ones and even the unborn little ones. And that is to save, really to save humanity. And what they have been doing to the little ones, it's too much. It's not bearable anymore. I hear at the big council, even if they had decided since millions and billions years ago not to interfere, they have to interfere.
Yes.
They had to reverse that decision. They must interfere because whatever is going on here um, can destroy whole universe.
And that's my understanding as well. There's something going on here that would destroy every multiple dimensional frequency level
Yeah,
that we
yeah,
are connected to, because we're all one. We're all
yeah.
one. We're all connected intrinsically. And if we fail or get taken over fully into enslavement fully, then it
Mm.
could cut the cord of our connection to source, the creator, and that would impact every single dimensional frequency, and it could be catastrophic.
I get the vision when you're saying that. If you have, you can have your whole body very healthy. Everything works fine. We have the brain works okay, the liver, the muscles, the skeleton, everything is perfect. But suddenly you have an obstruction in a little vein in your heart. Just a little obstruction, a little lump, a little clot. What does that little clot do to the rest of the healthy body? It will shut it down.
Yeah.
Just one thing. And it's the same here. Our planet has worked in harmony, like a perfect, healthy body. But suddenly, our planet and what's happening here has become that clot that could shut down the whole system, the whole body.
Yeah.
So they must clean out the clot
Yeah.
before it kills everything.
That
Before
is
it kills the brains, the eyes, the ears, the liver, the gut, everything.
Yeah, that is a superb analogy, Isabella. I think that's one that everybody will be able to understand and fully visualize with what's been going on medically recently. And
Yeah.
I'll leave that with that one as well, you know. But no, that's been very, very enlightening. Thank you very, very much for your
Yeah.
amazing reading and ball. And
And thank you for coming here, letting me come to your show.
it's been an absolute pleasure. It really has. And hopefully we've answered a few questions, and people will feel a little bit more at ease and calm and start to look forward to what they want and not around them at the noise, you know.
Yes. Um, be calm. Everything's gonna be fine. Just focus of what you want to have in your life, not what you're afraid of.
Yeah, yeah,
And that helps a lot.
it does. It does.
But still, we are human. Still, we're gonna be worried, but maybe not so worried as we should be.
Yeah, yeah, we have got this. We're okay, and we've
Yeah.
been supported in ways that we can't even comprehend yet. We really are. And so we are in a very, very good position. And the longer this goes on, although it may seem, oh my God, it needs to end, everything is timing is correct and everything is as
Yeah.
it should be. And we must remember that and observe, but don't absorb the energies that
Yes.
don't
Yes.
serve, and get on with our love and life and enjoy yourselves. Remember to enjoy yourselves.
That's right.
And with that, Isabella, thank you
Yeah.
very, very much for coming on my show. I'm truly
Thank you.
blessed.
Thank you for having me. And I really love coming here, and you're a wonderful person. And your questions are very helpful for me too, because it helps me to organize whatever I see in good sections. Mm.
Thank you
So
very
I'm
much.
very grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you very
And
much,
I'm looking
Isabella.
forward for the next show. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much. So am I. So am I. And with that, everybody, we're going to say goodbye. So, Isabella,
Bye bye, everybody. And
bye bye,
thank you so much
everyone.
for watching.
Thank you. Blessings, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye bye.